Principles, integrity, merit, and conservatism without an apology. Welcome to the Regular Joe Show.
Patriot Dennis wrote in his 3 questions, and I think they are apropos to explain why Joe Biden couldn't even come close to my explanation of why China's a bad thing, and we actually need we need a divorce. It may be a messy, nasty divorce, but we need to divorce China as fast as possible. They are one of the most unfaithful spouses you will ever find, and they're abusive too, and the faster we're away from them, the better off we will be and our children will be, figuratively and literally.
He leans to the right politically, and because his back hurts, the Regular Joe Show.
All right, what do you got for me, Brad?
So I hope you're having a blessed morning, brother. Here's the sad realization that I came to yesterday, and the sad realization is that it must be a horrifically racist company, because I was trying to change my phone bill. I gave the guy my phone. I gave him all of my information. I gave him all of the confirmation that I am who I say I am, but he would not let me change my phone bill until I produced a photo ID. Therefore, I can only assume that must be racist because of what our leadership is saying about photo IDs, that we shouldn't have to produce one.
Brad, Brad, you may be onto something here. Nobody has probably heard this, but I mean, there should be legislation, don't you think? I mean, this is...
I think it's wrong, especially since they required it of everybody.
There's 2 names for this, Brad. First of all, that's microaggressive, what they're doing to you, and you are entitled to grief counseling and to a safe space. But that's also because
I need a puppy, a kitten, and some crayons fast.
Immediately, and good crayons, not the cheap stuff, the ones that break, because when they break, when you color, it makes you feel bad again.
Purpose and positivity, values and morals. The Regular Joe Show.
I came across these masks available for sale. I mean, I'm sure they're everywhere, but I found them on Amazon. They have zippers at the mouth. They're the perfect COVID mask. And the best part is one of the pictures for one of the brands is to show the usability of the zipper. It shows a guy with it's zipped open, and he has a cigarette in his mouth, and he's lighting his cigarette. Because after all, when you want to protect yourself against a upper respiratory virus, you want to make sure you're getting your proper balance of nicotine as well.
Where does one find consistent conservatism? Let us think. You don't have to think too hard. Let me just break it to you here, okay? All right. This is the Regular Joe Show.
They put $1 million from the American Rescue Plan Act towards gun violence prevention. Well, I'd say it's certainly not. I know it's a new addition, but I don't know that it's been working. And I don't know that it's going to work because, again, this is a fundamental misunderstanding of what's going on. The issue isn't the gun. It's the people that are pointing the gun and shooting it. And gun violence prevention, this is, we got to tell people guns are dangerous. You point them at somebody, people can get hurt. Really? You don't think they knew that, right? And I'm sure everybody that was arrested for these acts of violence, if you look into their profile, I'm quite sure all of them went to gun safety training. They bought their guns legally at gun stores, applied for licenses, probably have concealed carry licenses too, of course, because that's what thugs do. They go and they follow the rules all the time, every time. I mean, look, I grew up in Washington, D.C., where gun violence was a sport. It was an art form to some degree, and I don't mean that in a good way.
Making sense out of all this nonsense.
Now, Ty is 4 years old. That's important when you hear this sound. Ty, born a biological boy, has a mother who's trying to convince him that he's a little girl. The cognitive ability for a 4-year-old to make any meaningful decisions doesn't exist. They're not at an age of reason. This is why parents are supposed to exist. But when you have a lunatic for a parent, things can go badly. Now, here's a little highlight from this TikTok that she posted. Now, to set the visual medium, so what you're seeing as you're hearing this, you don't see the mother, but you see this little boy, makeup all over his face, wearing girl's clothes.
Face, Ty.
Makeup.
You put makeup on it?
Mm-hmm.
How old are you?
7.
No. How old are you?
7.
You're 4.
No, it's 7.
Are you a boy or a girl?
A girl.
A girl?
Mm-hmm.
Were you born a girl? Were you born a girl?
Yes.
When you were a baby, were you a girl?
Yes.
Are you in a boy's body, though?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, tell TikTok bye.
Now, by the way, if you'd like to understand what child abuse looks like, that's one great example of it right there.
Brutal honesty can be offensive, and for being honest, he will not apologize. Oh, sorry. Oh, no, I just dropped my pen. There we go. This is the Regular Joe Show.
I mean, by their own numbers. It's not my opinion. Look at their numbers. More people have died under Joe Biden from COVID than they did under Donald Trump. And I know there's people that try to make that Donald Trump, well, because Trump didn't, it's always something he didn't do. Well, here's the thing. This question is about what Joe Biden didn't do.
Fighting for truth, justice, and the American way. Without the cape or the superpowers, not even a sidekick. Heck, we don't even have fancy gadgets. This is just Joe and his trusty microphone, made in the USA.
Speaking of the La La Land, Kamala Harris yesterday was, because they trot her out every once in a while, she was out talking about how we need to, broadband, high-speed internet needs to be a necessity. It's as important as air. But the best part about it is if you listen to how she speaks, understand she's supposed to be talking to adults, not a bunch of kindergartners. Now, here we begin with Kamala Harris.
In the 21st century, high-speed internet is a necessity, not a luxury.
Oh, that's so neat sounding. Can you tell us more, Kami? Please tell us more.
During the pandemic, young people used the internet to access digital textbooks, attend virtual classes, and collaborate on science projects, all at their kitchen table.
Wow.
Parents use the internet to buy groceries, paper towels, and other daily essentials.
Wow, that's just... Who would have thought this is possible?
The Regular Joe Show.
Good morning, Joe. Please indulge me for 30 seconds to talk about something I didn't call about, and that's your comments on the March for Life.
Sure.
The loss of feeling for life in our country is directly related to that decision. When a young woman, 24 years old, gets stabbed to death out in Los Angeles, can't tell me that that's not at least somewhat related to that decision.
Oh, it's
years ago.
It's more than it's not distantly related. It's directly related. When we created a scenario where we encourage, especially encouraging mothers, much less all human beings, to disregard the inviolable dignity of every human life. And that's exactly what abortion does. It takes away the dignity of every human life. It says it is a commodity that can be trashed like, milk that's gone sour or whatever. There's no value to it beyond whatever we assign to it at that mere moment.
This is the Regular Joe Radio Show.
Get the Regular Joe Show on your station and bring a fresh point of view to your market. Contact Adam Miller at Genesis Communications Network. 877-996-4327.